What up, though? How y'all feeling today? It's your boy. What's up, everybody? It's your boy. Spaceship Oasis the Incredible. We just logging in. We just tapping in. Tapping in. Tapping in. It's your boy. Go on, see Spaceship Oasis the Incredible back with another edition of Straight Talk with Spaceship right here. Brought to you by www.thewildoutRadio.com. Just trying to get ready, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy. Just doing my thing. How y'all feeling out there in this world? I know it's 7 o'clock Central Standard Time right now. So I know a lot of y'all got things to do and a lot of things y'all handling on. So I appreciate y'all being here with me today. I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. I will be on vacation coming up. So, I wanted to make sure y'all got some content, something we could talk about, something that we could discuss. So I hope that this allows you the opportunity to rock with me a little bit. What's up, Tosh? How y'all feeling? Make sure y'all share the show. Yeah, I'm saying I'm trying to make sure we get everybody here. I want to talk to you today, though. Today is a very kind of different show. I won't say different necessarily different, but it's just one of those shows where I just really wanted to discuss. I just really wanted to discuss some things about life and about things that I've been seeing lately. So for me, let me tell y'all a little bit about it. In 2008, I'll say 2008. It was about 2008 because I think I was working at GMAC at the time. I had this chick. I met this chick, and we had been talking. We had been kicking it or whatever. So one day, we planned on meeting up at a hotel in Addison, Texas. Right? What up, Jazz? Shout out for you for the shirts. J Rich Design. I need the other shirt though. But anywho, so we planned on meeting up at a hotel in Addison, Texas. So I went to work. I got off work about 5:30. Went home, got everything together. Got my green, got my drink. It's gonna go down. It's one of those nights. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those nights. We gonna fuck. We gonna have some fun. Yada yada. And I pulled up at an F-150, a black F-150 at the time, and I pulled up to the hotel. And as I pulled up to the hotel, a police car drove by me. I looked at them, they looked at me. I kept doing what I was doing. I packed up my stuff. I got out of my truck, and I started walking to the hotel. So I don't know what's wrong with that. And so they said, well, can we see your license? And I said, sure. I didn't have anything to hide, right? I'm walking. You can't really do anything. When I saw them drive by, I kept all my, contraband in the car. I'm walking in the hotel. You cannot mess with me. What up, CC? Here's my license. They took my license, ran my license, told me I had a felony warrant out of some county in Texas. Mind you, I'd only been here about 4 years. I didn't even know where that county was, never heard of it. I got arrested. They got my keys out my pocket. They searched my car. They found the marijuana. They found the liquor. They gave me a possession charge and locked me up. I fought that case for about 1.5 years. And finally, we went to court, and the judge was like, so why did you stop him? And they were like, oh, it was suspicious activity. And she said, what was suspicious? Well, we just heard there was suspicious activity out in the world, or in the area. So we just stopped him. And so she was like, well, he was just parking his car. He showed you, he was going to a hotel. He showed you he had a room at the hotel, and so why didn't y'all let him go? Well, he had a warrant, but you didn't lock him up for the warrant. You locked him up for a possession charge. And I got off the case. Right, the case was dismissed, but in the process, I had to pay bond. I had to pay my bail. I had to get my truck out of the impound. Me and the young lady never talked again. She didn't even believe me when I told her, like, dude, I got locked up downstairs at the hotel. Um, and so fast forward that to yesterday. Real world police. I've been watching you. I've been watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, and y'all need to check out these people. They are amazing. They are super funny, and I've been watching Audit the Audit, right? And I've learned so much. Like, I got mad at myself because I was like, man, I could have sued these motherfuckers, or I didn't have to show them my license. And so, what today is really all about, um, hold on. And what today is really all about is knowing your rights, right? I think there's this old saying that if you don't want a black person to know something, put it in a book, right? Put it in a book. And I at first I used to get offended by that, right? I used to get offended by that because I'm like, man, black folks read. But even for myself, as I was watching this and looking over this and checking this, um, I realized that there's been times where I have been put in certain positions that I didn't have to be. And I think it's very important for us as black people to know your rights. Now, um, I can easily say for all people, and this is goes out to everybody, but especially for my black people, for my black men, my black women who get accused, who get stopped, and I've been watching these audits on fake YouTube where you can't. There's certain things you can't do. There's certain things that they cannot do to us that will violate constitutional rights, as much as they may want to, as much as they. We have to be very careful that we do not allow law enforcement or anybody else that perpetrates as law enforcement to violate us as human citizens, right? So the things I want to talk about and the things I'm just going to knock down here is the ID part. And I'm going to break down my situation, and hopefully that corresponds with something you may have gone through, something you may have seen people go through. And then we'll talk about some other situations that I peeped. But if I'm not getting stopped for a crime, if you are not getting stopped for a crime, you do not have to give your identification. Certain states, and I know Texas is one, they are not a stop and identify yourself state if you are not involved in a crime. If they do not perceive you to be in an unlawful act, they can say, oh, you're suspicious. Anything can be perceived as suspicious. A black man in a black shirt with a hoodie on, yes, that does look suspicious. Yes, they can stop you. No, you do not have to show them your ID. Oh, they get super upset. The ones I've been watching get super upset, right? So the thing is, you don't have to give them out your ID. Now, does that mean you don't have to identify yourself? Yes, you can tell them your first name. Or, hey, what's your name? Especially if you're not doing anything. It was funny because I saw one guy, it was like, what's your name? And they kept asking me, he said, good citizen, my brother, sir. You can call me any of that. You don't need to know your name. Why don't they need to know your name? Well, the part of it is when you give them your name, they're going to run your name. Period. That's what they do. We know that law enforcement are supposed to be public service. They're supposed to serve us. They're supposed to help us in this world, help us in society. But all they want to do is get an arrest. I don't care who it is. You don't have to give them that information. Okay? Please understand that if you are not, and you can ask them, am I being detained? If I'm not being detained, I can go. They can't force you to stay somewhere. And a lot of times as black men, and I've been guilty of this because I felt like I wasn't doing anything wrong, or let me just comply. You know, people tell us, just comply, sir. And even watching the videos, a lot of times I was seeing a lot of officers say, why are you so hostile? If you didn't do anything wrong, and people, and I may have to do a show about this because this works with people as well in our general lives. But for us, when people say, oh, why are you acting so fidgety? You got something to hide? No, you're a police officer. I watch how you kill us. I watch how you disrespect us. I watch how you lie on us. I don't have to give you any information on me if I'm not doing anything wrong. Period. Right? And we have to be mindful of that. So when they stopped me and I was walking to the hotel, I didn't have to give them my ID. I didn't know. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was being cooperative. But what happened when I gave them my ID? Now you can come back and say, oh, you got a warrant in such and such. I can't validate it because you're instantly putting me under handcuffs. You're instantly putting me in handcuffs. So I can't validate what you see. You're not going to show me their warrant. You're not going to let me talk to the dispatcher. You're going to say, oh, you got a warrant. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Man, look here. Know your rights. Secondly, you have the right to remain silent. You know, we hear police officers say that a lot, right? You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent the whole time. You have the right to remain silent the whole time. And what do I mean by that? Sometimes, these are things I learned over this weekend that I just really want to bring abreast to you guys and to really help you pay attention and understand what's going on here. If they say, do you know why I stopped you? Don't ever say, yeah, I was speeding. You just incriminated yourself. Do you know how fast you were going? I think I was going 5-10 miles over. You just incriminated yourself. Do you have anything in the car? Well, you just incriminated yourself. When they say you have the right to remain silent, you do not have to talk to a public servant about anything. If they want to find out something, they can go ahead and investigate. If they try to get into some locked stuff, they need a search warrant. If they don't have probable cause, and probable cause is one of those things where it can be kind of touchy. But so you want to really be protective. You want to make sure you are protected. Like CC just said, I keep everything locked just for that reason. Lock your glove compartment. Don't open your trunk. Don't allow them to open your trunk. Keep your doors locked. If you get out the car, you can lock your doors. Did you know? I think as people, we try to think, oh, I need to do this the right way. And they say, well, just cooperate, sir. Just cooperate, man, or we'll get you out your way. No, you won't. No, I don't trust you. And that's sad that we can't trust our law enforcement officers to do what they are held and bound to do. You have the right to record. You have the right to film. Okay? You have the right to ask for a supervisor. These are things that we have the right to do. And sometimes as Black people, we feel scared to do these. We feel hesitant to do these because we see the situations that happen in this world. We see what happened to Philando Castile. We see what happened with George Floyd. We see what happened with Sandra Bland. But we have to record, we have to educate ourselves. Because when you educate yourself, they get mad, but it stops them in their tracks. It can truly stop them in their tracks if we work intelligently and effectively. A lot of times we get hostile at the situation without any information. We get hostile at situations without any knowledge, without any facts. You can say, you feel me? If you're on a public property, you can feel anything. You could be 200 feet away and film. You can be 50, as long as you're not obstructing what the police are doing, you can film. If it's me, if it's somebody else. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up, because even though I talk about these laws and right, so many different things. Love you, CC. Be good. There's so many different things that change and fluctuate that can confuse us. So we have to pay attention to our rights. We need to pay attention to what are the statutes in this city. You can't tell me I can walk all the sidewalks in Dallas and film what I want. As long as you're not filming someone in a compromising position that usually they couldn't get filmed at. Like, you can't go into somebody's house and film. You can't be, eavesdropping or filming in their window. But if they're outside in public, you're allowed to get filmed. That's why when people get pictures at the club or people get pictures at certain places, don't let them tell you that. If I can see it on Google's Maps, I can film it. If I can see it on Google's map, I can film these things. But we don't know our rights. So when they come and tell us, and law officers, when they stop you, they're always going to try to act more intelligent than we are. When in fact, most of the time, they're not as smart as we are. Because they're not really. Think about your job. Think about the training you took at your job. Sit back and think. I'll give you about 15 seconds to sit back and think about the job that you have now and the training that you took when you got that job. How much focus did you actually put on that training? How much focus did you do paying attention to that training? Because in your mind, you're like, I ain't gonna never use this. I ain't thinking about this. This is whatever. But what happens is, to singularly be law. And we have to pay attention to that. They cannot detain you if you have not done anything. And they can try. And that's at those points where we have to ask for supervisors. It's hilarious how we know the law a little bit and we take advantage of that and we try to use that for fact and religion. But as people, as citizens, we have to know our rights. We have to know what we can and cannot do in this world. We have to know what can and cannot be done to us in this world. Because so many times, Black men and Black women are getting incarcerated for stuff that's not legal. Let's say they stop you for a busted headlight or busted rearview mirror, busted traffic rear light, right? Tail light. They check you for the tail light. They give you the ticket. They can't check you for anything else unless they have probable cause. Does your car smell like weed? Do you look like you've been drinking? Were you swerving? If not, they can't ask you for your license and registration and insurance. They can't. For what? This is a busted headlight. You done got me for this. You done gave me my ticket for this. I'll get it fixed and I'll keep it pushing. You can't search my car. You can't get the dogs on my car. And they have little weaves and little things that they try to coerce and finesse to make it seem like, oh, they got probable cause, or once again, they try to guilt trip us, right? Well, if you ain't got nothing to hide, it should be no problem. No, you're violating my privacy. You're violating my Fifth Amendment. How many of you know amendments? And that's where the problem lies. When we are getting violated, we don't even recognize it. If you're walking out of a mall and a cop comes and bothers you, you have the right to walk away if you're not detained. What are you stopping me for? What is the suggestive nature that I've been doing? What are the things that I've done to allow you to stop me? Now, let me tell you, I was in Plano once, and my brother-in-law came and picked me up from work one day. This man got arrested. They asked me for my ID. I gave it to him. I had a ticket at the time. I got arrested. You don't have to, if you're in the passenger seat, if you're in the back seat, you don't have to, once again, you don't have to identify yourself. Unless there's probable cause that you are doing something wrong. Now, that does not mean that they cannot ask you to get out the car for their safety. They can ask you to get out the car. Fine. I'll get out the car. And they more than likely would do a Terry frisk. What is a Terry frisk? That's just a simple frisk to make sure you have no weapons. They can't totally frisk you down. If they can't see it, they can't go through your body. They can't do a whole search. That is illegal search and seizure. As I've been over this break from school and dealing with this summer, I don't know why God chose me this path, but I've really been getting into politics heavy. There's times when I could have alleviated certain situations. But for me, because I did not know the law, I allowed myself to get put in the system. It may have been for something small, something asinine, something of not importance, but yet I allowed myself to get put in those situations because I didn't educate myself. I never thought, I was one of those people that thought that this stuff couldn't ever happen to me. In Flint, Michigan, as crime-ridden as it is, I never got pulled over for no reason. I never got stopped for no reason. When I got to college, I got pulled over one time. It was my fault, but I still had rights, but I didn't pay attention to that. As I've gotten older and I've lived in Texas, I've been pulled over a lot. I've gotten a lot of tickets. I've had a lot of things happen based off of, oh, we just want to search your car. Fuck. Dang. And I might have had something in the car. And I knew it, but I'm trying to be cooperative. I don't have to be cooperative. I can cuss at you, police officer. I can do my due diligence. You can't stop me from walking into a hotel. I'm not being suspicious. People walk in hotels every day, all the time. What am I doing suspicious? Oh, you were sitting in your car. How do I stop my car? I got to get my stuff. I'm at a hotel. I'm getting stuff to take upstairs. That's not suspicious activity. Now, if I had somebody else in my car and I would have drove off when they drove by, that's suspicious activity. Sitting in your car is not suspicious activity. It's my freaking car. We allow ourselves to get put in situations and we allow ourselves to be manipulated by authority figures because we don't have the intelligence, we don't have the wherewithal, and we don't have the book sense to know what they can and cannot do. If you're a witness to a crime, you don't have to give a statement. I don't have to talk to the police. Did you know that? Did you know that you don't have to talk to a policeman? But they say, oh, you got to talk to us. We need a statement from you. No, you don't. Yes, we do. No, you don't. Yes, we do. No, you don't. I saw a man get arrested. And even for me now, selfishly, I've been thinking like, how much money did I miss not knowing my rights? How much money did I miss not knowing my rights? And as a black man, I have been, oh my God, I've been stopped so much. I hate sometimes being around the cops. I hate sometimes getting the cops being behind me. Because at any given time, I feel like they can mess with me and I don't have any say so. For the longest, I felt defeated as a human. Why is that? Because I didn't know my rights. So many times I felt, well, I can't say nothing. I don't have a battle. That police officer knew he was wrong for stopping me. You know what I'm saying? That police officer knew he was wrong. The police works for us. We pay their money. When they're talking about tax reform nowadays, they're not talking about cutting all of the police, like as Trump video says. Do you know how much money it goes toward police officers? $100 billion. Look, man, I'm a whole school teacher. Why is it so hard for us as educators to get raises, but yet police officers are damn near making $100,000 within 2-3 years of working? Police officers are making $100K on average. Their pensions are amazing. That's why police don't even care about getting fired, because the union is going to protect them. I read about a police officer. He's making $69,000 after he got fired to sit at home. $69,000. Who on here makes $69,000 to do nothing? But yet you have teachers, educators, hardworking people, construction people, people that make just all type that is on lower level. Like as a teacher, we damn near are like it's almost like minimum wage people. Walk call center teachers right here. And that is so unfair. Even after everything we're going through right now. Then you got cops. Cops are damn near making as much as WNBA players. This is your boy, Spaceship, always the incredible. This is Straight Talk with Spaceship right here, www.thewildoutradio.com. Make sure you check out the encore production of this every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, or you can go to the YouTube, The Wild Out Radio on YouTube. Check out all the podcasts. Check out the radio show. Check out all our house parties and all that good stuff. It's a bunch of fun. Just check us out. But when you have ignorance and you're ignorant to certain things, sometimes the best way to be is hostile when something happens, to be reactionary, to be defensive. You don't have to be defensive. You have to be educated. You don't have to be hostile. You have to be educated. Like I said before, they say if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. And I'm not even going to say this towards my black women because black women love to read. Fellas, and of course, it's not many fellas that's probably going to watch this, that are going to watch it, that have watched it, that are watching currently. When was the last time you read a book? Fellas. Ladies, if you got a man, if you got a brother, an uncle, a father, ask them, when was the last time you read something? Besides on Facebook. I'm not talking about bull cockamania. I'm talking about really studied the intricacies of something. Me moving up in levels in school and just trying to get my education going. That's what I'm talking about, Christopher. That's what I want. Let me know what you read, and I'm gonna check it out as well. And I was telling him, even in education field, a lot of male teachers are complacent and okay with being coaches. That's the sexy job for teachers. You don't meet a lot of black men who want to elevate on the teaching side, not the coaching side. And I know coach, I'm not taking away from coaches. I love coaches, but as far as core teachers, black men who want to move up in different positions within the school, within the educational system, you don't see that a lot. You don't see a lot of black men striving to excel. You see them get to a certain level and be cool. And that's the difference. I was watching Undisputed today with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. And Shannon Sharp was talking about Lou Williams, right? How Lou Williams went to Magic City knowing they're supposed to be in a bubble in Atlanta. And he said, look, man, there's probably more people that were better than Lou Williams playing basketball, but he worked harder. Shannon Sharp said, there were more football players better than me in high school, but I worked harder. As black men, we need to work harder. We need to be able to protect our families, protect our communities, protect our women, protect our kids. How can we do that? Gunplay ain't the only way we can protect each other. Being educated is a great way to protect each other. Knowing my rights, understanding what I can and cannot do. Even with Breonna Taylor, when her boyfriend shot at the police. Honestly, Botham Jean would have been in his rights if he would have killed Amber Geiger. But we care more about the hood code than the life code. And when life situations happen to us, and that's what I'm going for. When life happens to us, we need to know how to handle this. We need to know what can and cannot happen, because the thing that they want at the end of the day, more black people in the system, more fingerprints on file, more records, more arrest. It don't matter. Let me tell you something. It does not matter if you're guilty or innocent. Once you go to jail, they are fingerprinting you. You are in the criminal records now. People can Google you. Your job can Google you. You can have been acquitted of the charges. Your record is still there. What you are in jail for, it's still there. Me and my uncle got into it one day, right? And he called the police on me, and the police ended up taking him away. Right, wrong, or indifferent. When I went to look at his mugshot, do you know what it said? Terroristic threat. He didn't give no terroristic threat. He was about to get his ass whooped, but it wasn't no terroristic threat. But they're able to put that, and you can't, that's not something you can just, hey man, I need you to take that off. Or if you can, it's too much work. That's been expunged. I need my record off of there. Your fingerprints are still in the database. They're not gonna throw your fingerprints away. They're not gonna throw your mugshot away. Oh, Mr. Jones, you've been here before, huh? Yeah, but no, we don't want to hear everybody in this. Now, and see, in the law, law's hand, them people will still get looked at crazy. Kobe Bryant was still getting looked at crazy. So many situations. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. That's dope. That sounds dope. That sounds dope right there. It's a long-ass title, though. But I definitely need that. Because I'm going through pretty much all those things right now. But as a black man in this world, more so, and I don't want to deflect from my black women. I don't want to deflect from the white people. I don't want to deflect from the Asians or Hispanics or Native Americans or anyone else. But for black men, once you are guilty, you are guilty. They are looking at that shit. Your job market has just been limited. Your opportunities have just been limited. Why? Because you didn't know your rights. Because you didn't stand up for yourself. Because you were just like, oh, okay, it's all good. It's whatever. And for me, from what I saw on a lot of these reels, there were way more white people standing up for themselves than there was the black people. So I get it. It's hard. It's scary. It's like, but what if they kill me? What if they look? And I hate to say this like this. You can die at any reason for anything. I would rather die on camera, standing up for myself and my people than die on some bullshit. I don't want to live knowing if one person was getting detained, they had a person with them that called the police, let them know what's happening. Or I would recommend getting a second phone. It don't have to be an expensive phone. It just got to be a phone that can call 911. Hey, well, you're detaining me, and I don't understand why. You're refusing for me to speak to my speak to your supervisor. I'm going to call 911. And these are things we have to pay attention to. These are things that we have to do to stand up for ourselves. Don't get intimidated walking down the street. This is public area. Don't get intimidated doing things that you know you can do. They want us to be intimidated. If they intimidate us, we will lose our rights ourselves. If we walk around scared, if we walk around hesitant, if we walk around reluctant to the truth, to the facts, to our legal rights, they don't have to take anything from us. If they can punk us into being defeated, you don't have to sit there and argue with them. You don't have to sit there and be in no shouting match and be in their face. You can be real calm, real cool, and know your rights. That's the most important part, people. When somebody tells you, no, you can't do that, and I saw a comment earlier. Anybody. Not just easily say. They can easily say, this is it. No, I know my rights. At work, have we read our handbook? How many people have actually read their long-ass handbook at work? Not many. Not many. You don't know your rights. And then even when they give you this paper or this book, and there's something we don't understand, we don't ask many questions. We just throw it to the side. We sign the last page, turn it in. Here, I'm done. Once again, same thing with cops. Think about how you work. Think about how you live. But what that does is that puts you in a place of ignorance. That's why they give you this big ass fucking book. That's why they give you those leasing contracts with those little ass words. That's why they give you all this extra crap, because they know that your patience, the microwavable attention span of this generation and the generation before them, which is my generation, we don't stop to read. When I got my car, I didn't read the contract. Then when I paid my first payment and saw my APR, I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I got to get this refinanced. But I'm stuck. I'm not stuck anymore, but I was stuck at that moment. Why? Because I was just so happy to get a car. Let me tell you, I was just so happy my credit allowed me to get a car without co-signing. Right? And that's one reason why we lose our power and we don't know our rights, because we already feel guilty to a certain extent about something, right? We got weed in the car. Fuck. We don't stay. They stop us for or I wasn't speeding. If they just stopped me for some bull, you can't search my car. If my car don't smell like weed, you can't search my car. I don't care that my license plate is from out of town. You can't search my car. Well, your search warrant. Or you were weaving through traffic. No, I wasn't. All right, call your supervisor. Let's look at your camera. Well, do you mind to step out the car? No. I ain't got to roll my window down. I can crack it so you can hear me. I ain't got to step out the car. I ain't got to do none of that. Yes, it's going to make them mad. I don't give a fuck. You fuck how mad you are. Do something. You don't care, but do something. You can't record me. Yes, I can. First Amendment. But we allow a lot of these things to pass. So even when we talk about, oh, that's some bullshit, what happened to such and such, a lot of times that people get put in jail because they don't know their rights. And when you don't know your rights, you don't know how to validate them. You don't know how to alleviate them. You don't know the different lawsuits and precedents. Your lawyer ain't going to always think of the precedences. They're not going to always look up past court cases and say, no, this is this. And you not, because you paying this lawyer to do something for you, but you got to trust yourself. When you put that, when you say certain stuff like that, it changes. It changes a lot of things. It changes a lot of things. Times we allow them to put us behind the 8 ball because we feel guilty. We're doing some fuck shit, and we're scared they're gonna find out about that. Look, yes, I got warrants, but this is a public street. What am I doing? I saw one black man. He was outside his apartment picking up trash, and the cop came and said he looked suspicious. And they said there's no trespassing. He said, I stay here. He said, what's your name? He showed him his school ID, right? So now he wants to know his date of birth. I don't have to give you my date of birth. I don't have to give you my date of birth. I told you I stay here and I gave you my name. What else you want? I gave you my student ID. Well, I don't know. I need to validate if you're here. Then go validate if I live here or not. Stop fucking asking me. Well, stop, sir. No, I'm working. This motherfucker cop ended up, and on his radio, he called and said, the man is walking away and he has a blunt object. 8 cops came out there. 8 cops. Because he done said this black man has a blunt object. He has a weapon. Another cop came, asked 2 residents of the apartment complex, do he live here? They said, yeah. They saw that all he had in his hand was a pail, was a bucket, and a trash grabber. And so he was like, well, I need your date of birth. Why? You stopped me to see if I lived here. You stopped me to see if I live here. You found out, and it's been confirmed that I live here. You can't ask me shit else. There's nothing else we need to talk about. What, you want to know if I got weapons on me? Drugs on me? You can't. Cops cannot assume. They would love to assume the worst. They love thinking that you have to do that, or you have to lose your rights as a human, or you have to talk, or you have to speak. I don't have to say shit. I ain't got to talk to you. The one sentence or question I heard the most is, am I being detained? Because a cop will not legally detain you. You will detain yourself thinking you're detained. If a cop pulled you over for a traffic stop, am I being detained? Well, I wanted to know where you're headed. I'm headed home. Can I see your license? And for what? For what? For what? Well, I just want to know who you are. No, you don't get to fucking know who I am. You work for me, nigga. You the servant. You the servant. You don't. Where they do that at? Somebody tell me where they do that at, that the servant can give you the orders. Man, if you don't get the fuck up out my face with this bullshit, cuz. You have to know your rights. Yes, things are going to happen. A lot of things have happened to us because we're not educated. A lot of things happen to us because we don't stop and sit back and say, how can I truly fix this? Information fixes things. Knowledge fixes things. Okay? Knowledge gives you power. But when you don't have that knowledge, you have a person. How many times have you sat in a meeting at work, heard a teacher, a principal, or a boss, or whatever the case may be, talk, and you sit there the whole time like, this motherfucker wrong as fuck. And everybody just saying, yeah, okay, yeah, just agreeing, clapping, and just happy. And you be sitting there like, wrong, telling you about your job, telling you how to do your job. And you know the way they telling you other people how to do your job, you know it's wrong. It's because you have knowledge. They can do that because they're talking professionally. They're talking like they know what they're talking about. Like right now, I'm talking like I know what I'm talking about. I could be completely wrong. Now, you can go look up these facts. You can go look up these channels. You can go look up this information. But that's the second thing. It takes knowledge. It takes you researching. It takes us understanding and becoming smarter. It is okay to be on your shit. But we sit back and we allow people to tell us the truth instead of us knowing the truth. You wear a seatbelt because we see signs that say buckle seatbelts, because we see commercials that say buckle your seatbelt. But do you know the statute that says you have to buckle your seatbelt? Do you know the statute about kids buckling their seatbelt? We drive on this part of the lane because we have these rules and these laws that we see around, and when we're driving and we see these things, and that's what they tell us. They've had a statute. A police officer came to this guy and was like, you can't film. There's the constitutional, what do you say? A congressional letter. There's a congressional letter saying you can't film public places. A congressional letter is not law. It's not law. Care about no congressional letter? It's not law. Secondly, if I can see your place, any place on, you can come and film my crib from the sidewalk. You might not can come in, but from the sidewalk, you can film my crib. If you can see my crib on Google, you can film it. You more than likely can't see my actual crib from Google. But if I can film it, I can go past the Army base and film it. I don't care what you say. I can go past the White House and film it. I don't care what you say. I can go past a traffic stop and film it, as long as I'm not obstructing justice. As long as I'm not obstructing the officer. As long as I'm not obstructing the situation. And you can't tell me nothing, Jack. You can try. You can try. Now, with knowing your rights, sometimes it's a slippery slope, because I can sit here and tell you to speak up and not guarantee that I'm gonna speak up all the time. But why would I not speak up? Because I am gonna file a complaint. I'm not gonna just say, oh, this is some bullshit and just keep it pushing. You gotta file the complaints. You gotta file them lawsuits. If you're done unjustly, you can't just let that stuff just get off your shoulders. You can't just push that. That's allowing them to keep up this aggressive and unlawful behavior. It might not be your fight to sit there and I saw some argue with the police. I saw some just say, yes, sir. You gonna give me my ticket? Just give me my ticket. Are you finna arrest me? I don't need to roll down my window. I don't have to get out the car. Just give me my ticket. If you're not getting arrested, you don't have to get out the car like that. If you don't have a probable cause for something like that, if you don't have a warrant, if you don't smell like marijuana, or you don't look like you're a meth head, or you don't smell alcohol in your breath, I don't have to get out my car. Get a supervisor. Get a supervisor. Know your rights. And if you don't want to get a supervisor, now I need to start putting these pieces together. Because the next thing is, I'm going to get me a lawyer. But we're scared to do that extra paperwork. We're scared for some reason. The Black community just likes to let stuff go. It's funny to me. It's funny to me because white America does not let stuff go when it comes to Black people. They hold the foot to the fire with everything we do wrong. They have treated us like slaves for 400 years. But when a white person does something to us, we are so loving and so forgiveful. I forgive you, but I know my rights, and you're not going to get away with this with other people. And I'm not just saying it's a black and white thing. I know it happens to white on white. What I'm talking about. We cannot keep giving people passes for disrespecting our constitutional rights. How long do you let a person hit on you until you fight back? Fighting back ain't talking big to my friends after the fact. Talking big ain't saying what I would have did on Facebook. Talking back is taking action. Talking back is filing lawsuits. Fighting back is voting, protesting, educating yourself, knowing your rights, having your kids know their rights, having your parents know their rights. That's fighting back. And we don't believe it. For some crazy reason, we don't believe it's going to cause change, even though this year is one of the first years where more non-white kids were born in America. More non-white kids were born in America this year. We're not that far off. Yes, it is a lot of white people in this world. But that means there's a lot more white people that don't vote too. Look, crack, let me tell you something. Meth heads ain't going to go vote for no Trump. I'm just I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We have a voice. We're scared to use it. Or it's been embedded in our brains that our voice don't matter. It's been embedded in our brains so much, black people tell other black people our voice don't matter. Man, I ain't gonna vote. My vote don't matter. Where do you vote? Do you even vote on Dolores? And she won. So did my vote not matter? Was she won regardless? I think I had some help into that. Even if it's 7 people. Excuse me. I'm just saying. When do we start mattering to each other? When do we start mattering to self? We matter when it comes with clothes. We matter when it comes with finances. We matter when it comes to making music or having a good career, I guess. And I don't even know really about that because I need more doctors and lawyers and teachers and stuff like that. Right? But that's another story for another time. When does fighting back start mattering to you? I see cats still out there without mask on, thinking it's cool, but we don't like Trump, but we're not showing different. We're doing the same thing he does. So when do we start fighting back? I see people hating Trump, not voting, not protesting, not standing up, not teaching their kids, not sitting at home teaching their kids over the summer because they already know their kids behind because of COVID. When do we start fighting back? I see young people still disrespecting older people, not listening to advice, not getting wisdom from what they've been through, not trying to put the pieces together to make it better for their generation. When do we start fighting back? I see people watching reality shows overwhelmed by Royal, Jada, Tamar, August, Kanye, not understanding about Kamala, John. I ain't seen nobody talk about John Lewis ever. I don't see nobody talking about I'm finna start getting evicted, get hit. No more Social Security. When do we start fighting back? When do we start fighting back? That's all I'm saying. And we start fighting back by knowing your rights, by understanding, by educating yourself. It's never too late to start educating yourself. It's never too late to become a better person. It's not. And it's okay. It doesn't make you less cool to know more about social issues. It doesn't make you less cool to be abreast of what's going on in your community. How many of y'all know what zoning is? How many of y'all have done the census statement? It's okay. It's okay to understand how we're the adults now. We can't keep living like we're fucking 18 and 19 years old with no issues. We are the adults now. We got to do adult shit. I'm tired of seeing more white people fighting for black people than black people fighting for black people. Know your rights. Educate yourself. Educate your family. Educate your bubble. Make sure you know what to do. Make sure that you can teach someone. I don't want to talk about social media. I don't want to talk about not right now. Not whatever. My life, like I told y'all, since COVID hit, I've been so much more focused on politics and shit. But it's not. I've had the opportunity. I've had the opportunity to talk about other stuff or look at other stuff. I don't wanna because this is affecting my life way too much. It is affecting my kids' parents, my kids' parents with their job, my co workers, y'all still ain't educating yourselves. You still out here not getting that knowledge. You still don't know your rights. So I know I got off on a little tangent at the end, but I want y'all to understand, knowing your rights mean knowing what's really going on in this world. Educating yourself. Know your rights as a civilian. Treat yourself as a human being. If you're not educating yourself on how to grow, you're killing yourself by default. And I just want us all to be the best version of ourselves. It's your boy. Go and see Spaceship Oasis Incredible. This is Straight Talk with Spaceship, episode 9. Know your rights. I love y'all so much. Y'all have been amazing. I'm gonna see y'all soon. I might see y'all on the road. I might not, but y'all can always check me out every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time on thewildoutRadio.com. Shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check us out this Thursday for the Wild Out Radio Thursday Night House Party with myself, Go DJ Lady J Rock. She got some exclusive mixes coming up, so y'all make sure y'all check out the radio station with that. And we love you. We happy we check y'all, all our sponsors. We appreciate y'all. And if y'all want to be a donator to the show, just hit me up on the Cash App. $ JG Jones. Anything you can spare will help us keep the show going, keep us rocking, and get us to a bigger platform, because that's what we're trying to do. We're getting the Patreon started. But we got some shit we got to do on that. If you want to know who we talk about after the show on Thursday nights, make sure you go to our YouTube and check out our backstage pass. Like, that's really where we just talk about shit. I don't even remember what them shits be about. Like, we just talk. So some of the shit may be mean. Some of the shit we might not even supposed to say, but it's on there. It's raw, uncut. It's backstage pass. It's your boy. Go see Spaceship Oasis. The Incredible. This is Straight.